and I am live to discuss the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. And let me change my settings real quick, peoples. Hold on a second. They have done some. Hold on, let's see. They've done a little changes to the platform, and while I set up, boom, here we go. KB in the building. Hi, Kurt. I think what Usyk did was super smart. With all the shit talk Fury been doing about him, now Usyk will just be only undisputed champion. Fury was talking, he will beat Usyk in a rematch. KB, Fury said he will become the greatest undisputed champion when he beats Usyk in a rematch, so happy Usyk won't give him a chance. So happy Usyk won't give him a chance. Fury is a loser, and when he finds out no undisputed, he will go back to the bar. Well, I'll say this. I think what Usyk did was clever on both parts, because it doesn't matter how you look at it. It doesn't matter how people view it. Really, it's how it is. And how it really is that Oleksandr Usyk didn't want to give the satisfaction. He didn't want to give the satisfaction to Tyson Fury. That's if this instant quote unquote replay, has hit the scenes, or something implemented to change the way people score the fight, look at the fight. You know what I mean? So, instant replay, if you remember, Mauricio's trying to implement something new. And whenever he gets involved with anything with change, it has something to do with financial gain. Okay. Ibrahim, we know who the champ is anyway. Counterpunch to that. Mama Lou in the building. It's a shame that boxing is so corrupted. Yeah. Chris Esperon. What's goody, Kurt? Salute, chat, fam. Salute to you, Chris Esperon in the building. Fizz. It's WSG chat. Kurt, you're late. No, I don't think I was late. But I know I have this phone is different time from this phone. So I think I made it from this phone. Isaac, do you think Fury will be motivated for the rematch? Well, I don't know. I mean, the question is, how much motivated would he be? Would he be less motivated without the IBF? That's the question you ask yourself. You're like, okay, will he be less motivated because he knows the IBF completes the last puzzle of being undisputed? So he know the idea of knowing you can't get back everything that you could have possibly gained by losing the first time. That's the issue, and that's the question. Okay. Now, if he just wants to avenge his loss, that's good. But if he knows he's in it for everything, I mean, in it for really everything, he know he's lost something, right? I think Fury has a weak resume. He will retire. Well, you got Wilder. You have who else? Who else do you really have? Wilder, Weiland, Ngannou, Chisora, White. Who else does he have? Because he's fought Derek Chisora 3 times, he's fought Wilder 3 times. Okay, those were 4 times too many on each, 2 times too many on each fight. And it's almost like, okay, well, what the hell? Bill Keaveney in the building. How's it going, Kurt? It's cool, man. It's nice, cool, and rainy outside. Did Usyk just drop the belt to avoid any obligation to fight AJ? I mean, that's dumb, because AJ, he's already beat AJ twice. Me personally, I don't care to see AJ versus Usyk again. Yeah, I would stomach it. But look, the more things change, the more they remain the same, right? So if Usyk fought Joshua 3 times, What would that? How would that be? How would that be any different from Fury versus Wilder 3 times? Because we're looking at the same shit. It's just two different fighters. Like, look, like I'm glad that Joshua's fighting Dubois. Why? It's a fresh challenge between two guys, one older, one a little more, one more seasoned, one has more experience. One has showed. Well, actually, both guys have showed that they've came back from adversity. So they've came back from, from falling from grace. Okay, and now they're fighting each other. They've never fought each other except in the sparring, and the sparring has its own story behind it that could build this fight. And I'm going to make sure this fight gets built that way because everybody respects sparring wars. Everybody does. So no, I don't think he did that to avoid Joshua because he's already fought Joshua twice. I mean, it gets to a point like, look, Joshua did decent the first time, he lost. He did better the second time, he still lost. Okay, what else are we really talking about? What are we really talking about? If Fury beats Usyk and AJ beats Dubois, then AJ versus Fury, the fight of the century. Yeah, I mean, it would be a nice comeback story on both ends where Joshua, can take out the young lion with the Dubois if that could happen. And then, of course, Tyson Fury can come back from grace and redeem himself, get off the redemption list by beating Oleksandr Usyk, his first loss. Then where would that really leave Usyk? I think that leaves Usyk exactly where the Klitschko's are, retirement. Because at that point, he could try to get it back, but he's already done enough anyway that people didn't even believe that he could do. Nobody thought he was going to beat Joshua. He's too big. He hits too hard. Nobody thought that he could beat Derek Chisora. He's too big. He hits too hard. He's going to bully him. And he did bully him. He did rough him up. He did bang him down. He did give him everything that he wanted to give him, but he still stayed there and stayed in the pocket and won the fight off points. Okay, so he's passed every test that people thought he couldn't do, just like damn Holyfield did. The only difference is Holyfield took an L first, but he didn't start taking an L until he started fighting guys like that. Like you had slick guys like Michael Moore back then too. Okay, and he lost to Michael Moore. But Usyk has done all that without being defeated. So he's come out of these fights, and I can't say unscathed, but I can say he's never been defeated. Okay? He's lost some battles and rounds, but he's never lost a war. Okay? So that's that. Tyson Brewery, Stewart, has had it. I don't see him rematching Usyk. Yeah, you're with Johnny Taylor. Skrilla 50 in the building. Counterpunch to you, brother. What's up, King? David Burgeon, very overrated boxer. Stool in Lovu. But good people, let's be honest. Here, Usyk is just hard to beat. So you remember what he did to AJ round 12, and I actually thought AJ was winning after round 11. Usyk always does something to show you that he's the winner and he does what it takes to win. You know what I mean? Even in this decision to give up that damn IBF, he just showed the sanctioning body, the one that had the most resistance, that had the most complications, that had the most bullshit attached to it. What did he decide to do? Okay? All right, let me let these guys fight for that belt because I know Philip Hrgovic was talking what he was talking and he thought he was the only one that's going to be standing. And come to find out, he got beat up, battered, bloodied, and eventually stopped. Okay? But it didn't stop him from saying something that might have got under Usyk's skin or gave Usyk something to think about. And what he thought about was, you know what? Maybe he's right. Maybe I am being too greedy. I don't want to be regarded as the greedy belly like Usyk is claiming Tyson Fury was. Okay? Usyk took 3 belts in 2 fights. Wilder versus Fury was just 1 belt. How does the weather there, Kurt, from the UK, 29 degrees hitting a workout in the sun? What's 29 degrees Celsius? What is that in Fahrenheit? It's cool now because it just got, we had a nice cooling rain. So it's cool. Dog Poo Fairy, I hate Tyson Fury. Damn, why Dog Poo Fairy? Why you hate Tyson Fury? Oscar Henao, yo Kurt, how are you, my man, in Romania today? Counterpunch to you, Oscar Henao. Everything's good. But Usyk got nothing to prove. Well, Usyk, here's the thing. What Usyk needs to do, or this is what he can do. All right, so let's just stop the garbage. Stop the garbage. Usyk should defend the title. Beat Tyson Fury, then he's defended his titles. See, understand, Oleksandr Usyk will always be regarded as the undisputed champion. He will be the lineal champion. He will be the Ring Magazine champion. He will be the guy that's regarded as the best fighter, pound for pound, on top of the most decorated heavyweight champion we have of this era. Why? It's because if he beats Tyson Fury again, it's not his fault that he's not the IBF champion as well. It's just the IBF with their bullshit rules, and they don't want to play ball, and they no longer want to be they no longer want to tolerate the whole idea of Tyson Fury with his shit, and then they make Usyk pay for it. So what Usyk does is, fine. You know what I'm going to do for you and for the fighters that want to be champions? I'm going to give this damn belt back to you, and you can let those guys fight for it. They're very good fighters. I've taken punches from both of them, and I've beat them both. I've stopped Dubois. I've made him quit, and I've beat Anthony Joshua twice back to back. Okay, so you know what? They can have it, because guess what? Who are they to me? Who are they to me? Think about it. I beat them both. Do you really think I care about them parading around as champions? They're regarded as the under champion to me because I had that belt and I let them have it. So what do you think about it? I think in a rematch, AJ would do a lot better this time. You mean in a rubber match? Okay. I don't know if he would win, but he would do a lot better. So I agree. It's not really worth seeing again. Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. In a rubber match, it's like, yo, if AJ does something this time, does that mean AJ arrived? Or does that mean that Usyk has diminished a bit? See, understand something about the victory that Usyk had over Tyson Fury, okay? People talk about Tyson Fury's legs gone. They talk about this, they talk about that. They talk about the whole idea of him, not being able to do what he used to. And, is he the same type of fighter? Did Wilder take anything out of him? There was a reason why he retired and all this bull, okay? But nobody talks about Oleksandr Usyk being 37 years of age. Nobody talks about Oleksandr Usyk being older than Tyson Fury, older than Anthony Joshua, okay? Older than Daniel Dubois, of course, because he's in his 20s. You know what I mean? Everybody that he's fought, except for Derek Chisora, he's been young, he's been older than. Okay? James Bash always coming in with that cash with the Cinco. Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate the love. James Bash coming in with that cash says, peace, Kurt. Fury shouldn't complain. He's always said he didn't care about undisputed. That was someone else's dream. LOL, he should go get revenge. Counterpunch to you, James Bash. I was just coming around to that. Thank you for reminding me to come around to that. And since we're to that, let's get to that right now. Let's get to it. You remember when Tyson Fury said that. Tyson Fury didn't change tunes until this damn fight started, the preliminaries, the fight build-up. Then he started talking about, this is the biggest fight in the world. This is the biggest fight between me and Oleksandr Usyk. Nobody's better than him. I've never beat anyone. They can't even hold Usyk's jock straps and all that stuff. Remember? And then guess what, though? Guess what? Before that, he was like, those belts mean nothing because I already own them. I gave it to him. No, you didn't, Tyson. You did coke. You slammed broads. You passed your failed tests. That's how you end up losing them. Okay? Yeah, and then by the way, the IBF stripped him first. Then he was left with the WBA, the WBO, and the WBC. No, not even the WBC. He was just left with two of them. So that's the IBF and the WBA. The IBF snatched that away from him anyway, 2 weeks after he won them. Same thing they tried to do to Usyk, and Usyk's like, you know what? Give it to somebody else. I'm tired of you guys hounding me about it. I ask for the permission or whatever, right? So it is what it is. So now they're fighting over. So Tyson, he shouldn't be. And if Tyson does want to like piss and moan about it, we should remind Tyson Fury that, hey, dude, you said you didn't give a shit about the belts because they belong to you and you didn't lose them in the ring. So it doesn't matter. They're still mine morally anyhow. So since they're mine morally anyhow, how did I lose them? Well, you lost all the opportunity to have all of them at the same damn time, including the WBC belt, which you also lost that night as well. So it was all or nothing. You know what I mean? So that's that. Usyk has slowed down since the first AJ fight, and even on the decline, he whooped Fury's ass. Ask Skip. Exactly. Listen, what I've been trying to explain, just like Ask Skip perfectly mentioned. Usyk was not the same guy, and he was able to do that. That's the significance to me, because he was older than everybody else, but he wasn't the same type of fighter. I mean, he did these things, but he didn't do them as crisp as he did when he had that shaved head against AJ, and he was moving and jogging and slipping and ducking and punching and bunching. You know what I mean? He was doing those things so fluently, and it was almost like, dude, you look better than you looked against Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Hold on a second. And it's crazy because it's like, okay, then we seen the second Joshua fight. He looked okay, but he didn't look like he looked in the first fight. Then we seen the what? We seen the Daniel Dubois fight. He looked a little softer, if you notice. You know what I mean? He had the little mustache, and he still moved, but he didn't move like he moved. It's like he gradually is losing that. So with AJ, if he fights AJ again and AJ catches him and hurts him, and you know what I mean? And like, I don't want to give or take credit away from AJ, but at the same time, how much of that do you give AJ? Honestly, how much of that do you give AJ versus how less of Usyk has lost for AJ to be easier to catch him, to hurt him, to do what he needs to do? Maybe he just aged just enough. Joshua might have learned a little bit more, but you know what I mean? And that's that. You look like showbiz. Okay. Usyk's face versus Tyson Fury's face after the fight. Well, here's the thing. We got to keep it a buck on Counterpunch Boxing News, bro. They were both busted up. If you look at those guys, they both been in a fight, okay? You know what I mean? I like Usyk got hit from Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury got hit from Usyk. So, yeah, you know what I mean? I like the comparison, but if you just start looking at those guys, yeah, Tyson was jacked up, but Usyk, if you look at Usyk a day after that fight and you see him, he got banged up as well. So, ask Skip, Kurt biased. If you can't see it, I can't help you. I don't know what that means. Fury tried to age Usyk and still got beat. I think what happened with Fury, I think Fury was trying to live the high life. Fury was trying to make the money. That's why he took the Ngannou fight, because he knew he was going to make massive amounts of money for an easy night of work. And I think he got that from big brother Floyd, Money Mayweather. That means you're biased, Kurt. What do you mean? How am I biased? Show me how am I biased. Biased towards who? Usyk? Fury? Okay. Yeah. He said, you sucked off Fury for years. You can't call anyone biased. Damn, that sucked him off. Ouch. Usyk probably wants to whoop Fury again, and after that he vacates everything, maybe moves down or walks away. Well, if he does, you know what? He can do exactly that, but you know, he will also show if he does that, Usyk just will prove to everyone, to us, to Turkey Al Sheikh, that it's not about money because Turkey Al Sheikh is financing the whole thing. So it would be up to him to say, hey, you know what? I'm dropping all these belts. I don't care for them. Turkey Al Sheikh, keep your 100 million because I got pretty much 100 million anyway. You know what I mean? After these fights, he's going to have $100 million. So I don't need 200 million. I don't need that much. You know, that's a million a fucking year for 100 years. So I don't need another $100 million. And he'll just prove it's not about greed. It was about legacy the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? And it will take power away from everyone. Take power away from us. Take power away from the man with the plan, with the cash in hand. Turkey Al Sheikh, because I mean, think about it. What does Turkey Al Sheikh really have? He has a love for boxing and a shitload of money, damn near unlimited, to make any fight that he chooses to happen. Unless the fighter says, I don't want to do it. And Usyk, if he drops those belts, it would be like him saying, I don't want to do it. So it is what it is. Usyk should go down and fight Beterbiev after Beterbiev destroys Bivol. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but at first, you know what? You have two fights that could happen before an Usyk fight. And you know, here's the thing about boxing. Boxing is about time and timing. So if Beterbiev destroys Bivol, yeah, we all already thought he was a monster. I think he'll do it. I don't think anyone like that. Bivol would probably be the only person that could keep Beterbiev off of him. But then here's the thing. Does Bivol punch hard enough to keep Beterbiev off of them? And I don't believe, though. I don't believe so. I don't believe that. I think Beterbiev will get Bivol and hurt Bivol and stop Bivol. Like he's done everybody. Because his thing is not boxing you round for round. His thing is bashing you, beating you up, and getting you out. Either by KO or TKO. Either way, he's going to stop you from continuing the duration of this fight. That's what type of mentality he has. And if he beats him, you know, then Turkey Al Sheikh is going to turn around and say, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to see what David Benavidez can do. Okay, and then they're going to throw Benavidez in there with Beterbiev. So let's see if Benavidez and Beterbiev, let's see who's better. You know what I mean? Red Wave video. The 3 Fury versus Wilder fights drained them both. However, I think Fury will beat Usyk in the rematch, then fight Joshua, then retire happy. I hope so. I hope he retires happy. You know, that's the point with Tyson. You know, I think it's all about, you know, depression and how you feel at the end of the day. Usyk deserves to do whatever he wants. Well, here's the thing. Usyk deserves to make any decision he wants to make as far as retiring or staying active. And if he's going to do that, it's like, I think he should do what other fighters would do. You know, I mean, I think he's done his job as a unified champion. Even though he dealt with Tyson for about a year and a couple of years. And Usyk, I think he has all the belts. So there, you know what I mean? But do whatever he wants, like fight people that have no business. Like, here's my thing. He can vacate and does it. If he vacates, he can do whatever he wants to do. But if he still has those belts, okay, you can't have those belts. You can't do the Wilder thing. You can't do the Fury thing, you know, with that WBC. The WBC was allowing these guys that held those belts to do whatever they wanted. No, he shouldn't go down that route. What he should do is vacate all those belts. Then he could do whatever he wants to do. Usyk can't drain himself down to cruiserweight at that age. It will be a disaster. Look at Roy Jones Jr. That's exactly what Roy did. And Roy did it worse because he went to light heavyweight, not to cruiserweight. Okay. Usyk doesn't have the time to drop weight to go down to cruiserweight. Barry McGuigan was right. Get freaky for the chat. Damn, Mr. Dr. Bong. Crab jab in the building. Prior to the injury, I was with Beterbiev. Now I think Bivol will win. I don't know. I think if Bivol wins, here's my thing. The comeback story would be if Beterbiev won. Because if Bivol won, would it be because Bivol's just so much better, or is it just that Beterbiev is older and he got injured? And it sucks because if that's what we're going on, it doesn't mean he was the better guy. It just means he was better on the night due to circumstance. And that sucks. But this is boxing, the sport that we love, that we hate so much, right? Yo, Kurt, how you doing, brother? You got AJ or Triple D? I've got AJ by knockout 7 or 8. I got, looking at, first of all, I think Joshua hits harder than someone like Hrgovic, and I think he has more dimensions. And Hrgovic showed 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That's all he showed. He showed us that he can throw a jab and a right hand. That's all he showed us. That's it. That's all he showed us. And it's like, okay. And Hrgovic, he hits pretty hard, but he went 12 rounds with Dempsey McKean. He knocked out Mark Demore. And what else did he really do? He went 12 rounds with Zhilei Zhang after being dropped in the first. I don't think Fury will beat him. Okay. Can Beterbiev handle the heavyweights? I don't know. I don't know. Guys like those, though, they fought at light heavy and they've been in cruiser and, those guys will fool you. I've got Joshua winning and becoming a 3-time paper champ. In my opinion, Usyk still could fight other heavyweights and prove himself more. I find it strange. People, it's good to be a fan of fighters, but just because you're a fan of fighters don't mean you gotta shit on fighters that you're not a fan. Because you're a fan of fighters, don't mean you gotta shit on other fighters. You know what I mean? Because had it been Tyson Fury that's getting a belt back, nobody, oh yeah, it's great, Tyson Fury has had every belt. That didn't make him a paper champion. But I wonder, here's my thing. I wonder what makes St. Don, what makes Anthony Joshua a paper champion? Because if anybody's a paper champion, it's Dubois. See, Joshua's fighting September. He needs an opponent. So you would call Dubois the paper champion. But in actuality, he's really fighting Joshua for the IBF. So he's not like Boots Ennis. He's not like Devin Haney when they gave it to him by email. That's the email champion, you mean, right? But paper champion is something totally different. So I would love for you to explain. He says by not beating a champion, Kurt. Well, paper champion. Well, understand this. Being a paper champion, saying he didn't beat a champion. Well, Dubois was never a champion. Is that what you're telling me? Only holding a belt for a couple days is a bit of a paper champion. Well, here's the thing. Him vacating the belt. Look, first of all, I don't look at champions as champions until they defend the motherfucker. Think about it. Okay, Danny Dubois, yeah, he's that guy. So he would be the paper champion, right? Until he does what? proves itself by doing what? Fighting somebody. His next fight will be AJ. He's not really, what's the word? He's not betted to win against that fighter. He's not the betting favorite in that fight. He's not. Yeah, like saying paper champion is like, well, yeah, Usyk gave the belt up. If Joshua beats Dubois, he hasn't beat a proper champion like Martin and Parker wasn't. Like Martin and Parker wasn't. Well, Martin, you might have got a point because Martin didn't win the belt. He didn't win from beating, what's the guy's name? Ustalov or some shit like that. Because I keep forgetting his name, but he injured himself in the ring, and then Charles Martin became a champion. And then he got over there and got knocked out by Joshua, which was not a champion. Okay. But as far as Parker goes, you can't say that about Parker. Parker defended his belt. He fought Andy Ruiz for that belt. You know what I mean? Ruiz and Parker were two undefeated fighters, and they were up and coming in the rankings. You know what I mean? And then, like, here's the thing. Ruiz, what did he do? He went on to upset Joshua. He didn't give it up. It was taken from him. No, he gave it up. He just gave it up. You haven't heard IBF saying we stripped Usyk. No, Usyk gave that shit up. AJ is the second best heavyweight in the world, and then Parker, then Fury. I think Parker beats Tyson. I think Tyson showed even when he is smaller, he gasses. He was gassed out in round 7. I don't think he was gassed out in round 7 at all, moving like he was. I don't believe that Tyson Fury has no legs. I think Tyson Fury moves very well for a big guy. But I mean, I'm biased because it's Tyson. And I don't know, maybe people want to say Tyson has no legs just to like protect Tyson. And I'm like, why would you protect Tyson? Because I didn't see what you guys saw. I saw him dance around Usyk and Usyk chase him down. Usyk said he gave a gift to Anthony and Danny. Usyk made a point of saying, here is your paper belt. Well, there's the belt because they wanted to take it. They wanted to strip him of it. Well, let me ask you something, St. Don. If that would have been the case, would Ergovic be a paper champion too? Because I don't look at any of those guys being a champion. See, here's the thing. He could call himself a champion. Dubois was a champion. He was a WBA regular champion. But I mean, is he a paper champion too? That's what gave him the go or the green light to fight Usyk in the first place, because he used him being the WBA champion, just like Danny Jacobs did with Golovkin. He was the WBA regular. Golovkin was the super. Okay, so that basically meant he was an interim champion. So what the WBA does, they don't call it an interim. They just call it a regular, which means the same thing. So when they're going in there, oh, I'm the WBA. So then you contact the WBA and you want your right to fight because you are the next in line to fight for the super championship. Okay. Love Moonjal, boxer from India. Counterpunch to you. It's simple. If you ain't beating a champion, then you're a paper champion. So, St. Don, let me ask you something. Does that go for Tyson Fury? Ain't a damn champion no more. So if Usyk beat him, he wouldn't be considered a champion. Because if Daniel Dubois beats AJ, I want to know what you got to say about that first. I don't think Daniel can eat shots. My question is, what happens to the WBO mandatory spot? Is it Zhang or Parker next for that? Yeah, they are. And I think Parker and Zhang have to come to some kind of conclusion or reckoning or agreement because they had a rematch clause. And the question is, what is Parker going to do? And that what bothers me, worries me about Parker because, Parker fought Zhang. Who else is he going to fight next? He has to find someone to fight next because I think his consistency in staying busy is his biggest asset. He's got the youth, he's got the experience, he's been through hell and high water, he's been in there with a plethora of fighters, ex-fighters, ex-champions. You know what I mean? Fury has lost his belts, but to be a champion again, he has to beat a champion. Okay, so that means that if Usyk beats him again, does that make Usyk a paper champion because he didn't fight a champion no more? So you got to be careful how you say that because you can't have one for someone and you apply those rules to someone and you don't apply them for everyone. See, like Danny Dubois fighting Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's not a champion. Okay, Danny Dubois, like you say, is a paper champion, right? But I don't even look at it like that. I look at two fighters that are not champions fighting for the belt because what difference does it make? He can blow. I'm the IBF champion. Oh, that's good, Daniel. But who have you fought? Have you defended the fucking thing? Have you done that? No. So that means you're really not legitimately a proven one. That's how I look at it. Please tell us why Cuba has better boxers. Well, Cuba has better here's the thing about Cuba. Cuba has some of the best boxers in the world. I agree. However, Cuba's political system sucks. You know how long we've been hearing about Cuba supposed to let Cubans fight professionally, and what has it done really for Cuban fighters? Probably nothing, because I haven't heard any. Somebody flew from Cuba to fight anybody professionally yet? Usyk looks like it. Pulling Fury and Joshua down the drain. Damn. Bit, Richie. I'm like, oh my God. That shit used to scare me as a kid, man. I used to like, oh, that fucking clown looks hideous. AJ looked a lot bigger in the face-off. Yeah, AJ did look a lot bigger in the face-off. I'm going to do a separate video about that just to like break him down. I didn't think he was that much taller than Dubois, though. But then again, here's the thing. Dubois wasn't that much taller than Usyk, so it kind of makes sense. Tony Lyons, fighting for a belt is how it began in the first place. There you go. Who wins, Ruiz or Big Drug Baby? Big Drug Baby. Hopefully, Big Drug Baby. This is my personal preference. Like Ruiz should beat. He should beat Jarrell Miller. He's faster. He's quicker. He has better head movement. He has better upper body movement. He throws faster combinations. He has a good chin. He's been down before. Jarrell Miller doesn't have the punch variety like Andy Ruiz does. I don't think he's as faster either. And I think Jarrell Miller, he punches decent, but he's not a knockout guy. He's no Ray Mercer. He's not a Mike Tyson. He's not a David Tua. He's just a big ass dude. He's just a big ass dude. Kirk, AJ debunks Dubois dropping him in sparring. Yeah, I look, it's a lot because I was watching that. I ate with my dad for lunch, and it's a lot. I gotta counter punch about that. Feel bad for Dillian White missing out on the Saudi money. Yeah, well, Dillian White, the showing that he had against Christian Hammer, Dillian White looked like he looked in December of 19. If you guys can remember, Dillian White knocked out, was it Derek Chisora? He knocks out Derek Chisora. And then in 2019, because that was late 18, right? Was that late 18 when he knocked out Yeah, he knocked out Derek Chisora in their rematch in the 11th round. 2019, he goes to the U.S. I don't know what in Hades Dillian White ate, but whatever that man ate, he came back like a fat ass construction worker from New York City. Looks terrible since leaving Mark Tibbs. I think that's Derek. I think that's Dillian. I think Dillian likes to eat. I think he likes to play video games and stuff like that. I think he likes to just kind of lounge around. You know, um, but no, he like Dillian didn't look too good. And I know this is a tune-up fight. And I know he wanted rounds from Christian Hammer. Christian Hammer wouldn't give him what he wanted. And that's going to be a problem. Do you think Andy Ruiz will fight again? Yeah, he'll fight. You are talking about White versus Rivas, right, Kurt? No, 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 no. I was talking about he fought Rivas in 19. He knocked out Derek Chisora in late 18. Okay. And they fucked over Rivas bad and his team. And it was bad because they start billing like, why didn't you tell us about your drug test, sir? What's going on with that shit, sir? Dillian White versus Roy Jones Jr. would be an okay fight. Nah. It's just not a good look for the sport. Can either AJ or Dubois seriously be champion while Usyk, who has beaten them both and still active, takes the shine off champion? Yeah. I think Joshua's going after those belts because he wants to become champion again. And I think that gives him leverage in whoever wins against Usyk and Fury. I think it will give him more of an edge if Fury beats Usyk simply because he will be a champion and Fury will have the rest of the belts. That being said, Tyson will still be after something that he still yet has defended. He's never had the IBF belt that he defended. He became a unified champion when he beat Klitschko, but he never defended the belts. Dubois is a tougher fight for AJ than many people think. I think Dan Dubois is going to do a good job in that fight. I think he's going to come out to do exactly what he sets out to do. And it's up to AJ to stop him. That's all. Just because Usyk beat AJ 2 times doesn't mean he can do it again in the third. Well, I've already seen it twice, man. I'm not trying to see that shit over again. Kurt, is Usyk's greatest strength his mentality? I think he makes fighters work too hard to win rounds. They mentally buckle. They realize they can't do it for 12 rounds. Well, I think they realize they can't do it at that pace for 12 rounds. Joe Black, it's a rejuvenated AJ. Okay. I can't wait to see that fight. I'm going to look at that and I'm going to break it down for you guys. The whole AJ and Dubois thing. But speaking of Usyk for a minute, I think Usyk made a wise decision to make the heavyweight division, that much more interesting because now he's not fighting Tyson Fury for what Tyson Fury could gain from him. He's making sure, like, look, you pissed me over. You bullshitted me for damn near 2 years. You ducked, you ran, you ridiculed, you talked shit. You made a lot of promises that you couldn't make and you couldn't make right. And I beat you. When you finally came into the ring, I beat you. And I probably could have stopped you if it wasn't for the referee. So, I think Usyk, doing what he's done was a good idea. And also, it's cheaper too. Why would you give someone money on a belt that, like, nah, I'm just gonna vacate that damn belt. Usyk was a lot static when he fought Fury compared to AJ the first time. I don't think we'll ever get the Usyk that fought AJ the first time. I don't think he will either. You know, that dude there, dude, he has, dude, his reflexes, he was there, bro. I don't see, I can't say I don't see anybody beating that Usyk. I just see Usyk beating pretty much everyone with that same 2021 uh body frame, mentality, and physicality. Will AJ versus Triple Knee be signed on Monday? I don't know. But I think, yeah, they're coming. They look, they've had a press conference, so I'm gonna check out the press conference, and I will be giving you guys my counterpunch on that whole press conference. I may break them down into a couple videos for you guys. So, because when I get to talking, I get on one, and it's kind of, I kind of tell you guys stories like I like to do live. So, bear with me, but I will get those done because there's a lot going on in the sport of boxing. Usyk's dropped the IBF. The IBF is now being fought for from Anthony Joshua versus Danny Dubois. Canelo Alvarez, he still is undefeated. So there may be a Terrence Crawford fight because without him being undisputed, I don't see why Terrence Crawford will want to go down there and fight for not all the belts. Okay. So, Tony Lyons, Happy New Year! Ask if MMA fighters take 20 elbows per fight. Yeah, they do. They get cut up bad. Damn! Do you think Fury will never fight AJ like Wilder? Well, I mean, he may not get the opportunity to, like Wilder didn't. See, Wilder allowed people to lie to him, tell him, no, it's not worth the money, tell him this, tell him that, and then guess what? He ends up coming back to the sport, getting his bearings back, fighting a nobody in Hellenius that's already been cracked and damaged, and then went up in opposition, and he's got beat twice back to back. Dylan White versus Roy Jones Jr. I want to see that shit. Elbow sting and don't concuss. I know I've taken loads of corners in football. Usyk is not undefeated. Canelo is not undefeated. That's true. He's not. So, yeah, I think Usyk did everyone a favor. He gave what the IBF claimed they wanted. He gave the opportunity to Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua fight for the title. Now he has to just fight Tyson Fury again, and then he will fight whoever the winner is between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. But, I think that's going to be a very good fight. I'm going to go check out the press conference. You guys, thank you. God bless you. We will see you on the next live. Of course, please subscribe. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace!